Hello and welcome to the second part of this tutorial on how to create vocabulary exercises. Now in this part I'm focusing on creating vocab exercises that are built on word lists, not on frequency or on particular text that you're working with, but on word lists. So I think this might not apply to most of you actually, because I think you are all following more or less a text-driven approach. But in case you're using a classical textbook where per chapter you have a certain list, a word list, certain collection of words that students are supposed to learn, and you want to use the Bible Online Learner for doing the exercise on the basis of these pre-selected word lists, I'll show you how to do this. So just as a concrete example, I have a colleague in I think it's Puerto Rico, at a seminar in Puerto Rico, and his Hebrew students are working with the Page Kelly textbook, and he sent me this simplified version of this Excel sheet that you see in front of you. So these are the words that he gave me, and this is the Spanish gloss. And then here we mark the chapter actually of Page Kelly. So PK stands for Page Kelly. Page Kelly chapter 3 is a total of how many words are in that chapter? 18 words are supposed to be learned by the students. And then we have Page Kelly chapter 5 and 6 and so on. So this is what I mean by a pre-selected word list. In order to create the exercise now, there's a simple way and there is a more complicated way. The simple way is the easier way, but it takes more time, particularly if you have a lot of words. And then I show you also the more complicated one that goes blazing fast, particularly if you have a lot of word lists. So you go to Administration, Manage Exercises. There you go, we go to our Bible Online tutorial folder, create exercise, and then let's call this this exercise shows you the words of Page Kelly chapter 3. Okay. Please type in the Spanish translation. Okay, good. Or not type, I think you say, please provide the Spanish translation. Passage, well, now we choose everything because it's really based upon a word list, and we allow the Bible Online Learner to find these words wherever they are in the Bible, so everything. And then sentence, here we go to Word, and now make sure that you click Lexeme. So once you've clicked on Lexeme, you will now have to type in each word of this list manually. So I'm not going to type in the entire list, obviously. So I have to type in Av. Okay, next word is Adam. Now make sure here that we use the final mem, otherwise it's going to find it. Adam, and then we have Ach as brother, and let's do one further word, Achot as sister, Achot, and where is our Cholem part? Here, Achot, here we go. Achot, let's do just one more, Ish. Ish. Here we go. Okay, good. So you see we have just written, basically copied parts of those words. Now we go to features, and there we say, well, show the text. I always like to show the text, then show the Lexeme with variant. I will always say use with variant because it shows the homograph markers. And then we say we want the Spanish translation. Okay, save, and then word list of page Kelly chapter 3 as a file name. So now let's go to, we ready? The exercise is finished. So now let's go to our exercise BibleOL tutorial. Here we have our exercise. Let's go to frequency of 10. And now you see, ish appears as we have chosen from our word list. Ish, show answer, hombre, Spanish, I don't know Spanish, so I have to click on show answer. Af, father, you see the homograph marker. We have chosen the homograph marker. Ish, obviously, ach, af, and so on. So this is how the exercise now works. Okay, you can now stop watching this tutorial if this is enough for you, because this is basically the procedure. It's simple. You just need basically a word list and you need to type in your words. Now, what if, and this is the second part here, so if you want to hang on with me, follow me. It's the more technical part, but it allows you to create actually word lists that are huge and super long and that might comprise different chapters. So obviously here my colleague from Puerto Rico has words of 10 chapters of the first 10 chapters of Page Kelly that he all wants to do on the Bible Online Learner, and I definitely don't have time to type in each single word now for the next couple of hours. So what we need is, we need a list of your Hebrew words and match them with the transliteration. This is the easiest. So this is the transliteration of the Bible Online Learner dictionary. So let's now go to our exercise, and we are now going to change the way how we create this. We are not going to use the friendly feature selector anymore. We are now actually typing code. We are going to type the MQL statement. It's basically a query language instead. So in the way how I do this is the following. I first go to my list. Here's my list. And I make sure that I have a simple notepad or an editor besides me. I really like the Notepad++ for Windows users. Mac users have different nice editors, and Linux users as well. So now I basically just select all the words, let's say, of this. You can just get everything here. Zack. All words. I paste them in here. So this is the first step. Now, after those words are here, I need to make sure that these words become part of my MQL query language. So I have to add first this line, word not retrieve, zack, so. Then I open a bracket. And now I have to add in front of each of those lines the following information. Lex is, zack, then the word. For example, this is the word. Quotation mark. And then I have to continue. Or, and then I have to add exactly this line I have to add to each of those. So nice editors, they offer you functionality for doing that. So I'm using here the replace function of this editor, and I'm saying find me the beginning of each line with regular expressions. So that's this sign up here. So and then I say add to the very beginning, or add at the very beginning, the following: Lex is quotation mark, and now I say replace all. Now you see all these are added. Good. We don't need this for the first line. We only need this for the actual words. And now at the end of each, I actually want to add or. So again, I'm going to use my replace function here for regular expressions. The end of the line mark is the $sign. Yes, all right, $sign. And so now we want to add space or. Okay, and space, replace all. Here we go. So you see now we have added we've added the or, and now we're almost done. So what you see here is the code word not retrieve, and then an open bracket, and then we have lex, the actual value, or lex next value, or, and so on and so on. So we are all good. Let's just go here to the end. In the end, we don't need the final or because there's no word following. Oh, I missed something. You see, we're missing this quotation mark. I totally forgot about that. So let's go back. Okay, and now we're going to fix this. This is the situation. We want to have this. Okay, good. Replace all. Now we're good. Okay. Now we have the actual lexeme, the ending quotation mark, space, or. So let's clean this up here. Okay. And then at the end, obviously, we don't need the final or because no word is following. And then we just put the closing brackets. And that is it. So now we go back to our MQL statement. We just mark everything, paste it in, and that's it. We are done. We don't have to change anything here. We have set already show text, show lexeme with variant, and show Spanish. Save. Save. Yes. And so now let's reload the exercise. And now you'll see that we will have many other words that should show up here. Let me see, I might have done a little mistake here. Page Kelly, sentences, word not retrieve. Yeah, yes, the problem for this, very good that we run into this, so that we forgot to put this into the sentence unit. When you have clicked on MQL statement to select sentences, so not the friendly feature selector, but MQL statement, you need to make sure that these words also appear in the non-friendly feature selector on sentence units. So I click here on MQL feature selector and I paste the same list in here. Just make sure that the brackets are, the square brackets are out. So this is all I needed to do. So now I have the same list here in sentence as well as in sentence units, and now we're good. Save. Yes. And now we can reload the exercise and everything should be working now. Yeah. So now we have the entire list that I was provided. The entire list is now present in this exercise, and only those words that are in this list are actually asked from the student. Okay, so make sure that when you follow this more technical procedure, which I definitely advise when you have long word lists and perhaps more word lists, that you make sure you start the line with square opening bracket word not retrieve, and then have in the normal brackets all the lexemes that you want, followed by or. Okay, I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Bye bye.